Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Boruto manga. Today we're going to be covering Chapter 80, what is essentially the finale of Part 1 of Boruto, as we are potentially heading into the time skip with Chapter 81, which won't be coming out for another 4 months or so, because the Boruto manga is officially on hiatus. Seems like Kishimoto and Ikemoto are planning something big for the time skip, so they're probably putting together the older designs for a lot of the characters, so it's going to be interesting to see how things shape up going into the time skip. But yeah, how is this chapter overall? Well, let's talk about it. So as we left off with the previous chapter, Kawaki and Boruto switch places, and Kawaki tells Ada to tell everybody that Boruto killed Naruto. And she does so, but she does so reluctantly because Kawaki essentially is grabbing her. And I'm pretty sure that the anime is going to probably fixate itself on this because the previous chapter she was already surprised by this request. But Kawaki is essentially almost choking her. Basically got her by her collar and is basically forcing her to tell everybody, yeah, Boruto killed Naruto. Which Shikamaru was just shocked by this. To the point where when he announces it, he's like, well, Naruto may be dead. We don't know. But from what we gathered, Boruto's the one that did it. So it makes things even worse for Boruto. Not only were things already bad with him and Kawaki switching places, but now that Kawaki has done this, Boruto is in a very tight spot. But I like how Ada here is very shocked at what Kawaki is doing and how far he's willing to go. And you can tell that Ada is already uncomfortable with this and she doesn't want to go along with it. Things were going smoothly before, but seeing all this, she's seeing a change in Kawaki, and I like that. She's not exactly just being his slave or whatever. She's actually got a conscience here, and she doesn't exactly agree with what Kawaki's doing. Which is very apparent when Damon shows up, and Kawaki's like, yeah, I'll just kill you, brat. Despite the fact that Damon is way stronger than Kawaki at this point. I don't know what Kawaki's thinking by saying this. But even she's seeing this, and she's seeing that, hey, this guy, he might be a little bit more trouble than I initially thought. Doesn't seem like my romance is going to work out, I guess. Now, although Sarada tries to stop Mitsuki, he's just so fixated on killing Boruto, obviously after what Kawaki did and then swapping places. His hatred for Boruto now is intensified, and he wants to do nothing but actually destroy him at this point, especially after also hearing that the Hokage was taken out. Sarada is just in despair at this point. Sasuke shows up, and it doesn't help things that he's also under Ada's spell as well. And as we thought, it's not only just Sarada, but Sumire is also immune to the effects of Ada's omnipotence, because she contacts Sarada as she's talking to Sasuke, and basically is like, hey, are you in the right state of mind? Because, I don't know exactly what's going on, and I can't exactly explain it, but yeah, this is clearly Ada's doing. And based on what's going on, we're the only ones that can help Boruto at this point. But how are we going to do it? Because, there's nothing we can really do. If we try to actually resist, we'll be basically enemies as well. And this brings Sarada to tears. Now at this point, Sarada is an emotional wreck. And she essentially is begging her father to save Boruto. Because of all the stuff that's going on. And the craziest thing happens when she does this. She awakens her Mangekyou Sharingan. And it has a sun design, which I thought is pretty interesting. But Sasuke is absolutely shocked by this. Seeing this, he decides to believe in his daughter and goes out to save Boruto. Despite him being perceived as the enemy of Konoha. But in the meantime, Boruto encounters Team 7 who attack him. And they're basically chastising him for what he did. Even though it was Kawaki that did it, but they're under Ada's spell, so they think that Boruto is the one that did it, and now that the Hokage is gone, they basically call him a monster. And this has to hurt Boruto, since him and Shikadai are really good friends. Now, I like how Momoshiki over here is like, hey, Boruto, things aren't looking too good for you. It looks like it's kill or be killed, so let's switch. I'll take them out for you. Of course, Boruto's like, are you kidding me, dude? I'm not letting you kill my friends no matter what. And Momoshiki does legitimately try to take over, but Boruto's mental will basically subdues him. And he tries to, throw him into despair, be like, dude, you have nothing. All of it is gone. You've lost everything. Just cower in the corner of your subconscious forever, and I'll take over and live your life. And that's when Sasuke swoops in and actually saves Boruto, despite the fact that he believes that Kawaki is Naruto's son, and just like everybody else thinks that he's the one that went to go and face off against Momoshiki. But then he sees that Boruto has his headband. He's like, why do you have that? And why is Momoshiki within you? What's going on? Now, I gotta say, I do like the fact that Sasuke was able to realize this. Obviously, he doesn't trust Boruto fully, but he realizes that something definitely is wrong. So he decides to put his trust in his daughter's wishes above his own, which I thought was very interesting, which also makes Sasuke once again a traitor to the village. So Sasuke once again is betraying the village, well, in the village's eyes. So I found that to be very interesting. So obviously him and Boruto are going to be doing some training coming up. But Ada actually shows up and actually apologizes to Boruto. This actually surprised me. I was not expecting that, but considering Kawaki's behavior, yeah, she realizes that what he's doing is not right. Obviously some time is going to pass before Boruto returns. So she takes the time to apologize. And she's like, yep, as long as you're not in the village, I won't even look for you. So don't worry about it. And I like how Damon over here is like, yeah, Boruto, you need to get a lot stronger, so like when we can fight again, I can use my full strength, which actually kind of scares me a little, because that tells me he didn't even try against Code without his limiters. So how strong is this kid? Like, is he actually stronger than Ishiki in Baryon mode? Like, I don't know, man. This kid is something else. But I do like Boruto in the end, despite all this going on and Momoshiki basically yelling at him and basically trying to bring him down. He's just, taking it out, taking it in with a straight face. He might be down, but he's not willing to give up. He's got the blood of his father, his mother, and his grandfather flowing through him. So the will of fire is within Boruto. Now, I found it interesting that Boruto actually recognizes that while Kawaki, what he's doing is wrong, he somewhat blames himself for what happened, because he didn't really consider Kawaki and his feelings, and how Kawaki basically had nothing and Boruto had everything, and didn't realize that Kawaki probably desired that. So he calls it his own weakness and allowing this to happen. I kind of have to disagree like, a little bit there. I get where you're coming from, Boruto, but Kawaki is doing some pretty heinous stuff at this point. Not just trying to kill you, but considering how he's treating everyone else, the dude is just becoming irritable, and he's honestly becoming a horrible person. So not sure that I agree with you here, Boruto, but I do like your will of fire here. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this chapter, with Boruto vowing to get stronger. So obviously he's going to be doing some training with Sasuke. It's a little bit different than what I envisioned, considering that Sasuke doesn't like fully trust Boruto. He doesn't have that previous bond that he had with him. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next, going into the potential time skip with chapter 81. Now, while I thought this was a pretty solid chapter, I do have a couple issues with it. I felt like the chapter was very fast-paced to the point where there's a lot of stuff that's left basically unresolved at this point. Like Himawari, we saw her a couple chapters ago after Naruto and Hinata got sealed. What's she doing right now? What's she going through right now? There's that. Obviously everybody's reaction to Sasuke taking Boruto away. We only got Team 10's reaction. What about everybody else? Towards the end of the chapter, we got Sarada and Sumire. Like, at that point, Sumire met up with Sarada. But we just got Sasuke taking... She knows that Sasuke took Boruto out of the village, but that's all we got there. But we didn't get Shikamaru's reaction. We didn't get anybody else's reaction, which I thought was weird, like the sensory division. Like, I felt like there would be a little bit more done here, but obviously it's only 40 chapters. There's only so much they could do. But still, there's that. There's also Kashin Koji. Are we actually going to get anything from that guy? He kind of just disappeared like 30, 40 chapters ago, and there's been no word from him. Is he just dead, or is he just going to show up in the time skip at some point? Like, he got away, so he's got to come back at some point. So there's that. That's not as like major as like the other stuff that was going on here, just because he's been gone for a while, but it's still something that I was hoping to see before we went into the time skip. So hopefully Koji like shows up, because if he just never comes back, that will be weird. And then there's Amado. I thought it was weird that he wasn't in this chapter, because I've been waiting to see like his reaction to this. Like, you know, he wanted Kawaki for his daughter. Now with things flipped, what about Boruto? He'll be seeking out Boruto now if he's under Ada's omnipotence, which he should be, considering that he was under her charm beforehand. So what is Amno doing? Like, why didn't we get to see him in this chapter? Like, because we went through this so fast, there's just a lot of details that just got left to the side. And I don't want the anime to fill in the holes here. I hate it when the anime has to basically fill in for the manga. Let the manga tell the story. Don't let the anime basically fill in for it all the time. Let the manga flesh things out for once. So maybe when we go into chapter 81, it'll be fleshing this out. Otherwise, if we go right into the time skip, I don't know how I'll feel about that. I feel like we need to have like a chapter or two like building up to the time skip. I get the feeling that we are jumping into it, so I'm hoping that when we get to chapter 81, it's not like immediate time skip. Like, we get a little bit of exposition and things that have happened leading up to it. So hopefully Kishimoto and Ikimoto do that. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little disappointed, because I just don't want the anime just doing everything for the manga, like filling in all the holes for the manga. Let the manga tell the story, okay? Just saying. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for this chapter review. So I've been blabbing on for a little bit here, so we'll end it here. So overall, it's a pretty solid chapter, though it does have its issues. Pacing, unresolved details, all that stuff. But I liked it. So I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I've been going between a 7 or 8 out of 10 for the chapter, so we'll meet halfway. 7.5 out of 10 sounds pretty good to me. So I'm excited to see what happens with chapter 81. We got a couple months to wait, so hopefully it ends up being worth the wait. So guys, in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. What did you think about this chapter? Did you like it? Did you hate it? And then in the comment section down below, I also want you to post what you think is going to happen in chapter 81. Are we going into the time skip? Are we going to have maybe an interlude chapter where we lead into it with Boruto doing his training, you know, getting character reactions of what happened in this chapter? Like, what are we getting in chapter 81? I want your predictions in the comment section down below. I'm interested to see what you guys come up with. And yeah, that's it. So guys, have a good day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you all later. Bye.